The little season is a term found in Christian eschatology, particularly in interpretations of Revelation 20 verse 3 and Revelation 20 verses 7 to 8. It refers to a brief period after the millennial kingdom, the 1,000-year reign of Christ, when Satan is released from his imprisonment in the bottomless pit. During this time, Satan is allowed to deceive the nations once again, leading them into rebellion against God. This rebellion culminates in a final confrontation, often called the Battle of Gog and Magog, where Satan and his forces are ultimately defeated. Afterward, Satan is cast into the lake of fire for eternal punishment, marking the end of his influence in the world. This event paves the way for the final judgment and the creation of a new heaven and new earth. The concept of the little season highlights themes of God's ultimate justice, the accountability of human beings even after prolonged peace, and the fulfillment of prophecy. Its exact nature and timeline are topics of debate among theologians, and interpretations can vary depending on one's eschatological perspective, such as premillennialism, amillennialism, or postmillennialism. Some theologians and eschatological perspectives suggest that we might currently be in the little season, interpreting it as a symbolic or spiritual phase rather than a strictly future event. This view often aligns with an amillennial or postmillennial interpretation of prophecy, where the millennial kingdom is understood figuratively rather than as a literal 1,000-year reign of Christ on earth. Those who teach this may point to signs of widespread deception, moral decline, or global upheavals as evidence that Satan is actively influencing the nations during this period. They might see the world's challenges as indicative of a final rebellion against God before the ultimate fulfillment of his judgment and promises. Others, particularly premillennialists, interpret the little season as a distinct, future event that follows the physical millennial kingdom and believe we are not yet in this phase. The year 1949 doesn't have a widely recognized eschatological significance in Christian theology, but it could be tied to specific historical or theological events, depending on the context. The establishment of Israel as a nation in 1948 is indeed a significant benchmark in history, especially in the context of biblical prophecy and eschatology. Many theologians and scholars view this event as a fulfillment of prophecies like Ezekiel 37, which speaks of the restoration of Israel as a nation. It also aligns with interpretations of Jesus' words in Matthew 24 verses 32 to 34, where the fig tree is often seen as a symbol of Israel. This moment marked the beginning of a new era, not only politically but also spiritually, as it reignited discussions about the end times and the role of Israel in God's plan. Some see it as a precursor to events like the tribulation and the second coming, while others view it as a sign of God's faithfulness to his covenant with the Jewish people. If the 1,000 years and the little season are literal periods, as described in Revelation 20, then tying their chronology to an event like 1948 would indeed present challenges. The establishment of Israel as a nation in 1948 is widely regarded as a pivotal moment in eschatology, but it doesn't naturally align with the timeline of a completed millennial kingdom followed by the little season. Premillennialists, who believe in a literal 1,000-year reign of Christ, would say the millennial kingdom hasn't begun yet, making it impossible to situate the little season in relation to 1948. For them, prophetic events like the tribulation, the second coming, and the establishment of Christ's earthly reign must occur first. On the other hand, symbolic or amillennial interpretations might see the 1,000 years and the little season differently, perhaps as overlapping with historical events or spiritual phases. Indeed, Ezekiel 40 to 48 offers a breathtaking vision of restoration, centered on the new temple and the renewed worship of God. The idea of believers doing the works in Ezekiel's vision resonates with the notion of active, participatory worship. Tasks such as offerings, maintaining the sanctity of the temple, and serving in this restored order emphasize the believer's role in glorifying God through obedience and service. If we were currently in the little season, as some suggest, then Ezekiel's temple vision becomes even more perplexing. Ezekiel 40-48 describes a future, physical temple marked by meticulous architecture, sacred ordinances, and a redefined priesthood. This temple isn't merely symbolic, it's detailed to the cubit, with clear instructions for worship, land division, and governance. And the builders? They are consecrated individuals, restored tribes, and Levitical priests, people rooted in covenant purpose and purity. But looking around today, such a temple hasn't materialized in the physical realm. The Temple Mount in Jerusalem remains contested, with no structure matching Ezekiel's blueprint. The priesthood has not been reinstituted in the form Ezekiel describes, and global participation in covenantal worship has yet to find that unified, sacred expression. If the 1,000 years have passed, and we're in that deceptive window before final judgment, why is such a central prophetic promise not materialized? It's clear from Ezekiel's tone and detail that this fourth temple isn't just symbolic, it's a consecrated reality for a redeemed people. The connection to Genesis, where humanity is commanded to be fruitful and multiply, Genesis 1 verse 28, beautifully ties the millennial kingdom to God's original purpose for creation. In this renewed era, there will be healing, growth, and multiplication, a restoration not just of worship, but of humanity's role as stewards of God's creation. This vision in Ezekiel captures the harmony between worship, responsibility, and fruitfulness, offering a glimpse of redemption that is both spiritual and physical.